All right, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to Multi-Gen Collectibles here on YouTube, where we are going back through the collection from 88 to 94 that my grandmother and I shared, which again, as I reflected on a previous video from a couple weeks ago, these were mostly hers. she was the one that was responsible for buying a lot of these cards, and we shared those collection, or that collection, together. Shared those cards together. Even though she said it was mine, it really was mostly hers. And so now we're getting a chance to go through them as I pull them out of storage, and we look at these cards, open these boxes, open these binders, and look through them for the first time in 30 to 35 years. And so that leads you to this channel and this video, in which today we are going into part 2 of this Flings shoebox right here. Shout out to Flings. And again, we need to find out, was Flings a J.C. Penney's brand? Was it a Mervyn's brand? Was it a Target brand? I have a feeling it was one of those three. And these cards ended up in here. For whatever reason, we're not in one of the traditional white sports card boxes that we had hundreds of, it seems like. So that leads us here today, and let's take a look at what else is in this box for part 2. All right. So we looked at the rubber band cards. We looked at some singles that were loose, and now we see what else is in here. This is interesting. How many of you remember the Collector's Choice scratch off cards? I guess these came in packs, I'm assuming. I don't remember opening these, but it looks like my grandmother had a lot of them. For whatever reason, I know she had collected a few boxes. I know she had purchased, I should say, several boxes of 94 Upper Deck. I could tell you that for sure. I don't know how many, but here we are. Look at all these. Look at all these scratcher cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So we have at least 20 in this pile. And these were the scratch off cards where you would go through the lineup and see what their offense did and what their defense did in that game against one another. You had the innings. You can scratch off the prize. Scratch here. I don't even know what the prize was. I don't even know if my grandmother ever got a prize. Couldn't tell you. And each card had a different headlining player, as you see here with Mark McGwire and Tim Salmon of each of the respective teams. So we have the A's against the Angels. We have the Mets against the Marlins, which coincidentally or not, you have Dwight Gooden, who is Sheffield's uncle, photographed there. You have Barry Bonds against Ken Griffey Jr. with the Giants against the Mariners. Oh, you have Ken Griffey Jr. against Juan Gonzalez with the Mariners against the Rangers. The Twins against the Royals. Brian McRae against Kirby Puckett. So you had a variety of different teams that were competing against each other in an attempt to win a prize. We're going to set those off to the side. And now let's look at the cards, because that's really what we're here for, right? That's what you came here for. These are all loose. Look at that. Ryan Klesko. Let me tell you something. That 94 Atlanta Braves team was stacked with young players, man. Javi Lopez, Ryan Klesko, Chipper Jones, eventually Andrew Jones. So they had a lot of young stars. David Justice really wasn't even that old yet at that time. He had only been in the league, 4 years? So it's not like he had been around for a long time. There's a reason why that Atlanta Braves team kept going to the National League championship game. or Championship Series, sorry, and then going to the World Series. So we have 2 Ryan Kleskos. All right. We got Billy Swift. Ah, look who it is. Raul Mondesi. Raul Mondesi. Great player for a few years. A lot of hype, I should say. A lot of prospect around him. Julio Franco, the ageless wonder. Played until he was in his 50s. Now look what we have here. And unfortunately, we have a little bit of a bend, a little bit of a bow, I should say. And for some of you who know, some cards bow more than others. I think it's the quality of the cardboard or the card stock, whatever the paper is, right? That card stock. Some cards bow more than others depending on how they're stored. But look at this dope card, man. Again, this is 94. It's not like the stuff that you get now, but for the era that this was in, this is a really dope insert, in my opinion. Again, this is my opinion. The future is now. Gary Sheffield, only 25 years old at this time. Again, 1994, man, 25 years old. That's a dope card, in my opinion. I like that. Mike Piazza, also 25 years old. Look at that. And then look at the reflection on it. Look at that. That's a dope card to me. Rod Beck, Hall of Famer, 25 years old as a pitcher. Looks like we have a few of those. Aaron Seal, 23 years old. Again, the future is now. Playing into the early 2000s. Mike Mussina, Hall of Famer. Look at that triple effect. Triple exposure, I should say. Triple exposure on the card. Reminds me of that Nolan Ryan card. That's a clean card. I like that. That's a real clean card. Jason Beret, 22 years old. So it's really clear that Upper Deck was trying to take a different approach to their inserts, including this one. This Albert Bell, 1993. What does it say? Fantasy team. So 1993 fantasy team. And again, this is from the 94 set. Real clean gloss on it. Travis Fryman, Roberto Alomar, John Wetland. Here we have another one of those electric diamond inserts. So Upper Deck was definitely trying to add some variety to their inserts. And then this is the Star Rookie inserts, which again, we've seen different players in other videos of cards that we have, including the Michael Jordan Star Rookies card, which I don't know if we're going to come across any in this stack of cards, but we've seen some. Solomon Torres. We know Solomon Torres, if you follow baseball, you watch ESPN, I believe Solomon Torres has had a really long career in being a baseball analyst on ESPN. Scott Ruffcorn. Oh, sheesh. Look at that. Holy crap. Look at this. I didn't even know this was in here. I don't know a lot of these cards in here. Again, I'm opening these up for the first time in many, many years. And look who it is. Wow. A-Rod. Star Rookies. Man, just imagine. Should be in the Hall of Fame. Look at that card. Upper Deck, still to this day, still one of my favorite sets. As I look back on it, I still love the Upper Deck look from the early and mid 90s. Mark Newfield, Jeff McNeely. Oh, they even did the electric diamond on the Star Rookies too. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. Butch Husky. Yeah, these cards have a bow to them, unfortunately. Wish they didn't, especially with that A-Rod. Alex Gonzalez, Cliff Floyd, Joey Eischen, Steve Drexler. Again, a lot of these players we never, ever saw play. Or if we did, Didn't last very long, unfortunately for them, right? Unfortunately, just didn't have long careers, if a career at all. So yeah, this card is bowed. Again, the way that some cards bow the cardstock, but the corners are really clean. The corners are crispy. The corners are crispy clean. We're gonna set that down right there. We're gonna sleeve that one up for sure. Let's see what else is in here. Here we go. 1993 Leaf with Billy Ashley leading things off. Ray Sanchez, Mickey Morandini, Kent Herbeck, Mark Lemke, Kurt Manwaring, Frank Seminara. Who's this? Why is this one in a... Oh, that's why. Team color. Greg Vaughn. Look at that Greg Vaughn card. Can't deny, man, Leaf was a nice looking brand. Oral Hershiser. Got a little bit of the Leaf foil stamp rubbing off. See that? That's unfortunate. A little bit of it here too. John Olerud. Glenn Davis. Alex Fernandez. Brent Main. I believe Brent Main has been on ESPN for many years too as a sports analyst, or if not, one of the channels as a sports analyst for baseball. Greg Olson, Frank Viola, Travis Fryman. Man, I didn't know that the Leaf ribbon, the Leaf stamp rubbed off. I've never seen it rubbing off until these cards in this box. I wonder... Oh, look who it is! Look who it is. Even Grey Dog got excited. It is Ivan Rodriguez. Look at Pudge. Pudge Rodriguez. Ivan. Look at that. This is 93, so that makes this not his rookie card. He played 123 games the previous season. Not bad. Corners look pretty decent on the front side. A little bit on the back, just a little tiny, but on the front side looks real clean. That's a nice looking card. We're gonna put that right over here. And Sid Fernandez. What else is in here? What else? Ah, we have some more loose cards rolling. Ah, look at this. We're gonna go. Okay, here's what we'll do. We got Pinnacle. We have more Upper Deck. Bobby Witt. All right, let's turn these around. How about that? We'll turn them around. We'll start with the Upper Deck. Upper Deck 94, back to 94 Upper Decks. So it's safe to say that we have 94 Upper Deck and 93 Leaf up in here. We also have that 91 Score. All right, Pat Hennigan, Eduardo Perez, Ron Carcavice, Bobby Witt. That's Bobby Witt Sr. All right, Bobby Witt Jr.'s dad. Look at Bo Jackson. And oh man, the corner's a little not lifted, just has some wear. It's an electric diamond Bo Jackson when he signed with the Angels. Wow, look at that. I've never seen this card. I didn't even know he played for the Angels. Dang. This is 94. So this is after his hip surgery. Look at that. Missed the 92 season, came back with the White Sox in 93. By 94, he's with the California Angels at the time. Despite that little bit of edge wear right there on that corner. Here. There you go. Despite that, this is a clean card. And no bowing. We're going to have to put that right over there. Just because it's Bo. One of my favorite players, who I think is the greatest athlete of all time. Carlos Baerga, we got two of those. to Carlos Baergas. Who else we got up in here? Wade Boggs, Hall of Famer. Tim Salmon in the Silver Electric Diamond Parallel. Brent Gates. Ricky Gutierrez. Nigel Wilson. Musina, Hall of Fame pitcher. John Olerud with the Electric Diamond. Look at that. Andre Dawson, Hall of Famer. Terry Pendleton. Chris Gomez. Ryan Sandberg, Hall of Fame player. Look at that. Joe Carter. Some say he should be in the Hall of Fame. Just like this man right here, Dave Stewart, should be in the Hall of Fame. Ruben Santana. Bernie. Look at Bernie. Looking like he's trying to leg out a triple. Trying to leg out a triple. Trying to get to third base. We got two of them. Not a bad looking card too. Look at that. 91, 92, 93. Not his rookie year, but we did see a rookie earlier. Aaron Seal or Aaron Seeley. Who else we got? Chili Davis. This man was all over the league, right? Every team wanted him, but none wanted to keep him. That's unfortunate. Now we're moving on to Pinnacle. We got Lou Whitaker, should be Hall of Famer according to some people, right? What do you think? Should he be in? Should he not? Andre Dawson. Man, these cards are super clean with the black border, but for those of you that know, look at that corner right there. Anything shows up on a colored background border, any edge wear, all that. So that's hard, man. That's hard to say, oh yeah, I'm gonna send a card in for grading, and it has that wear. All right, let's go into the last bit of these cards. I'm gonna pull them out from the box. Let me grab this box, and we're gonna pull them out from here, and then I'll show you what else is in there. So I apologize about the long video, but I wanted to break this up into two parts, not three. So I just grabbed the last couple stacks of cards, and we're gonna flip them around here and there because it looks like we have some backwards cards. All right, here we go. Last stack. We're gonna start with the Pinnacle set. And again, that black border, if those cards aren't stationary, then those corners are going to get dinged, as we see here. So unfortunately, a lot of these cards that were in this flings box, they're not in the most perfect condition. Billy Brewer, 93 rookie prospect. Domingo Martinez, Kevin Young, Rob Nen. Again, these are 93 rookie prospects. Sterling Hitchcock, I remember his name during the mid-90s. Mike Stanley, McCaskill, Jeff Innes. Freddie Benavides looks like the expansion draft card when the Rockies and the Marlins were introduced, which begs the question, Rex Sutcliffe, what year? Oh, look at Bo Jackson again. We got another Bo Jackson. So what year is this Pinnacle set from? 93. So this is the 1993 Score Pinnacle set. Look at Bo Jackson. And again, just a slight bit of edge wear, nothing too crazy, but we'll put that Bo Jackson next to the other one. How about that? All right. Let's shift the camera just slightly. Just a little bit. There you go. Darren Holmes, Butch Henry, another Dale Murphy Idols card. Oh, look at that. That's a trip. I think they try to do like the 10, 11 years later type of look, right? That would make sense. Don Mattingly now and then. Again, just a little bit of corner wear in that left corner right there. Other than that, and that one there. Other than that, it's a clean looking card, man. Don Mattingly then and now. That's a trip. Lonnie Smith, Thigpen, Ron Gant, Doug Jones, Mark Whitten with the Oakleys, Mel Rojas, Merker, Chad Curtis, who was another Angels player like Tim Salmon in that mid-90s era that everybody was hyping big time. Look at Kurt Schilling with the Phillies throwback uni. Kurt Schilling with the throwback uni. Thomas Howard, Rod Beck. Ooh, Hall of Famer, right? If he's not, let me know, but I believe he is. I think he went in as a relief pitcher. Bobby Witt again. Bobby Witt Jr.'s daddy. Brian Williams, Royce Clayton, Oral Hershiser. Decent corners, could be better. And look who it is. The pride and joy of Compton or South Central LA, right? I believe one of the two. Darryl Strawberry. And I wish that corner was not worn to that extent. Dang, because that's a clean card. That's a clean card right there. On deck with Darryl Strawberry. Roberto Alomar, Reggie Jackson insert. That's a nice card, but we got some corner wear, unfortunately. Again, this is 93 upper deck. So it looks like Reggie Jackson did the gold leaf printed signature. And now we're on to, is this 94 upper deck? Nope, this is 93. So this is the 93 set. That's right, because the copper leaf is the 94. Benito Santiago. Kurt Gibson. Look at that. Love these cards, man. The 93 upper deck, the colors pop so vibrantly. Like they just have great color to them. Brian Hunter. Such great color. That's a cool picture. Rondell White with the Diamond Debut cards. Rondell White. Eckersley with the MVP card. The award winners. We've seen this card before in a different video. And these are also the team checklists. We've seen these before in a separate video. Here you go. Strike Force with the Atlanta Braves Aces. Glavine, Maddox, Smoltz, and Avery. That was a roster. And sadly, only one World Series, right? Only one. Cliff Floyd. Now we got some backwards cards. Let's flip them around. Back to 94. Mark McGwire. Decent corners. Not bad. No bowing. Now we're back to 93 Leaf. So it's safe to say this box of flings has Ben McDonald, has a lot of upper deck and Leaf. Frank Thomas, look at that. I don't think I've ever seen that one. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't think I have ever seen this Frank Thomas card. To my recollection, 93 Leaf. Now that doesn't mean it's not somewhere else in the collection, or maybe in a bolt in a binder. I just haven't seen it. That's a nice card. I like that. Again, Frank Thomas, as I've said in the past, became one of my favorite players to collect. Between him and Griffey Jr., Juan Gonzalez, Nolan Ryan, Bo Jackson. So I'm liking that card. Let's put that right over here. Sorry, A-Rod. So that brings us to the end of this Flings shoebox. And what do we have left? Well, let's take a look. We have empty penny sleeves. We have empty card guards and top loaders. The yellow, y'all remember the yellow card guards? Everybody hates those, right? Card Saver 2. If I'm gonna send cards into PSA, I guess I gotta send them in this because they won't accept top loaders or anything else. We have a bunch of those. I'm gonna put these right over here. And we also have, in my grandmother's writing, we have a small little set of cards that she was crossing off. Look at that. Special edition Donruss 1994. She was on the hunt for these cards. Again, she was a big set collector, whereas I was not. So she was on the hunt for this 94 Donruss special edition set of cards, and doesn't look like she completed it. She was also looking for that 94 Upper Deck Collector's Choice Home Run All-Stars, card number 5, Cecil Fielder, which we have found several copies of. And then we have this one here. I don't know what this one is for, but she has another list of cards that she was hunting for. And then we have more empty penny sleeves. Look at all these empty penny sleeves. Empty penny sleeves and more checklists that she had wrote on paper of what she was looking for. More special edition 94 Donruss. And then this right here, 1994 Spirit of the Game. She was looking for those players right there. Wow. On the back, Dominators 1994 Donruss, which again we do have several of. And then Diamond Kings, Tony Gwynn. Shout out to Grandma, man. Shout out to Grandma. And I'll say this: you can't see what I'm doing on camera, but these pieces of paper and these cards and the boxes, they still have her scent all over them, which is a whole nother story of the journey of collecting with my grandmother and the nostalgia. Thank you so much for being with me, y'all. Thank you so much for sharing this time. You could have been anywhere else. You could have been doing anything else. You could have been watching any other video, but you chose to stay here with me. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I really hope these cards spark some sort of nostalgia, maybe even spark some sort of interest to go back into your cards or start your collecting journey. Maybe this inspires you to take a step in that direction. But either way, thank you for allowing me to share these cards in my collection that I had with my grandmother with you. All right? So until next time, shout out to Grandma, shout out to Flings, and we'll see you later. Peace out, everybody.